Okay, recording this video on Friday the 14th of October 2016, and what a few days trading that has been. We had a monster day on Tuesday, nice consolidation day on Wednesday, and a picture perfect reversal day on Thursday. So I hope you've been trading well. Just going to talk to the 4500 tip bar chart just quickly before talking about bonds and then tagging on some day trades for you. Here is Tuesday's activity where we fell into this huge downtrend, ended up exhaustion, sell, bullish divergence, pullback to end of trend. We overshot it, and here are the blue professional bars kind of coming in at the end of the day. After we get a huge kind of trending day like that, do expect a consolidation day. That's one of the rules of thumb number 2, consolidation days after trending days. So this is the Wednesday's consolidation trade, and the best thing to do on Wednesday is just to play the ranges between the 4500 tip bar chart support and resistance. Yeah, you'll get kind of little minor overshoots and so on, but it'll kind of keep you in the game here. I didn't trade it particularly well on Wednesday. Certainly to keep your profit targets kind of tight on a consolidation day like this. I think there was something like, it was an average day in terms of range, but I must admit I didn't kind of trade it well. Thursday though did trade it well because of this. Wait for the exhaustion patterns after the beginning of the day, during the day session here, and I always talk about the 1500 tip bar chart as being the exhaustion patterns that I'm really looking for. So here's Thursday's trade, here's the open of the day, and there are those exhaustion patterns pre-open, and they're not good enough to reverse a market. You've got to have everybody kind of playing at the same time to kind of reverse a market. We then fell into a downtrend, continuation of downtrend. I mean, you'd have thought maybe this would catch, you know, pullback to end of trend, exhaustion, sell, bullish divergence, but no, we've got to wait. And then we've got exhaustion, sell during the full liquidity of the day, bullish divergence comes in, pullback to end of trend, and that's a bottoming move there. So I hope everybody kind of caught that. That's not enough. We've got to wait for this exhaustion pattern here. So got a nice little short trade, short 1675 out at 1075 into this move, and then caught a reversal trade later on, long 1350 out at 1750 into this move here. But the low of the day here, you can see, was marked by a classic little Rambo pattern. And here's a Rambo pattern with yesterday's activity at the top of that consolidation range. The amateurs getting wrong-footed. Remember, a Rambo pattern is a potential reversal of an amateur breakout. So the amateurs are kind of driving the breakout here, low average trade size, and they just get wrong-footed. Market reverses and goes the other way. Here's the reverse kind of happening here. They think this thing's just going to sink through the floor. We're coming close to the 2100 psychological level here, and they're kind of getting short at the tail end of this move. It's kind of really sad to see, and then just that marks the low. We test in with amateur down bars here, testing that low, and then we take off to the upside. Just a quick note about these Rambo patterns during the after hours session here. You'll see a couple here and a couple here. Better Pro-Am takes a few bars to recalibrate, so you've got a totally different picture in terms of average trade size during the after hours session, particularly in the couple of hours after the close. That average trade size is kind of really small compared to the day session, and so that's just Better Pro-Am recalibrating during those first few bars. So I always ignore those amateur bars, and if there are any Rambo patterns, don't take any notice of those. That's just recalibration going on, but that's important during the day session. That's important during the day session. So we kind of played out. We had end of trends on the intermediate time frame. Didn't play out with a pretty little pullback to end of trend because this resistance level came in a little bit higher than that support level, but the same thing was going on. We were just playing out that cyclical energy to get rid of it. We'd had our trending move, then we need to play out our resistance to support cyclical energy, and then we can take off to the upside there. So that was the 4500 tip bar chart. I'll tag on my day trades just to show you what I was thinking kind of during the day, but just want to talk about bonds briefly, because I'm a little bit worried about the bond market, because this is what normally happens with the bond market during an equity sell-off. So this is, what do I call this? I've forgotten. Getting old. The bond oscillator, there we go. Okay, that's kind of obvious. It's free code on the site, you can kind of get this. What I do is I load up 2 different ETFs that are following the equities market, so the SPY, and the bond market, the TLT. This is kind of the long term. I think it's a bond tracking kind of ETF, and use a momentum indicator looking at the difference in the movements between the two markets. And when we get sell-offs in the equity market, usually what happens is people are buying bonds, and that results in the momentum indicator showing an oversold situation. Then on the reverse side, when the equities kind of take off and we got weakness in bonds, we have an overbought kind of situation here. But typically what happens with sell-offs is that the money gets scared and it flows into the bond market. So with this particular sell-off here, you can see even as we're coming up to that kind of dive off point here, we've got strength in the bond market. Similarly with this area here, where we're starting to go into a free fall on equities, we've got strength in bonds. Throughout that whole weakness in equities, the bond market's going up. Even in this last move here, where we had kind of a big sell-off, but it was just for a couple of days, the bond market kind of took off to the upside. So everybody's worried about the equities market, and so they jump into the bond market, and we end up with these oversold kind of conditions here. But look what's been going on with the equities market and the weakness that we've had all week compared to what's happened in the bond market. We had a reversal day Thursday, and that was the only day where the bond market was up. The rest of this move, bonds have been really weak. So when we fell off a cliff on Tuesday, the bond market hardly reacted at all. And so the oscillator is now kind of at the zero level, kind of breaking through it and kind of heading down. That to me shows that the bond market is not acting normal, and there's not a lot of confidence in the bond market right now. We've also had the systems kind of roll over. This is the multiple time frame systems, and talked about this in the last few videos. We've got resistance on the highest time frame, we've got an exhaustion buy, bearish divergence kind of come in. We played out with our pullback to end of trends on the low and the intermediate. We cannot get through here as a resistance level, and we start to break through supports, and that's what these dots are showing us, and we're breaking into a downtrend. We had a low risk entry point here, and we've continued to break through supports, and that's for me is confirmed kind of weakness in the bond market there. So ignore, if you've got the multiple time frame indicators, ignore this number 6 kind of here. I goof around with my code from time to time, and I'm kind of adding things and just seeing how things kind of look if I change signals and systems, and this is just something I'm playing at the moment. But it does show a confirmed kind of downtrend here. So just look out for that. Everybody's kind of gets worried about the equities market, but the real problems as I see them are in the bond market, because that is not a good picture. We should have had some kind of strength in the bond market over the last few days, and we had nothing at all. So there we go. I'll tag on my day trades. Hope your trading is going well. We managed to break our coffee machine yesterday, so no coffee yet today. We're heading out this morning in order to buy a new coffee machine, so looking forward to that. Coffee shopping is always fun. Anyway, hope your trading is going well, and let's enjoy Friday's trade. Okay, just got short 1675. Short 1675, and just checking my stops and targets. Markets just opened up, it's 8:36. I know we've had pullback end of trend golf on the 4500 tip bar chart, and here on the system view, but this exhaustion sell was pre-open, and that's not usually good enough. I need to see an exhaustion sell on the 1500 tip bar chart during the full liquidity of the day. So we've ran into resistance 19.5, 18.5 on this time frame, and that's just falling through the ice, kind of blue professional bar kind of through there. So let's have a little think about it, but no blue professional bars on 1500 kind of come in to save the day here. So we need this to, there we go, we've got a break. So it's just telling me a little push back up. That blue professional bar needs to get broken. I don't want that to be a U-turn. There we go, there's blue professional bar here, and we've got support. So break of support, and this support 15.25, and this will give us a triple. That could look interesting for going for an exhaustion signal on 15. So let's see where we go next. Alright, there we go. We got our break of both time frames. Target sitting at 1275. Think about moving that out. What I'm going for is that exhaustion cell pattern. So there we go, we've got a double break kind of happening here. So this has got to go, it was a Rambo pattern and immediately picked up by the professionals, so don't necessarily like that, but we should be looking for exhaustion patterns. So let's see. Alright, move my target out to 1075 just because we've not seen blue professional bars on 1500, and this has got to run pullback end of trend at least on the 5, so let's give it time to do that. Ooh, there we go. But we want exhaustion cells, so we want some decent readings. Alright, we just had consumer confidence numbers kind of come out, cause a bit of a blip up. There's blue professional up bar and we're breaking the lows of that, hopefully. So should continue down, at least test where we've been. 1275 was the original target just down here, but I've moved it out. Blue professional bar, break the low of that. There we go. There we go, that's decent. Alright, okay. So yeah, we've got to see this go like 6,000-7,000 on the way down, flush everybody out before a trend change. Alright, initial target's just been hit, 1275. We've got a 5,000 reading. It's pretty good. 6,000. 1075 is where my target's sitting. No blue professional down bars yet. We had a couple of blue ones here on the 4,500. Let's keep holding. Bingo! Just out. 1075. Excellent. 4-6. Good, good, good. And just as the exhaustion cell comes in on the 1500 tip bar chart, it was a pretty big reading. Was minus almost 12,000. Excellent. And a blue professional bar coming on the 4500 tip bar chart. Sure, it'll keep on going. We've got to go pull back end of trend on the 1500 most likely. But that's good. What is that? 8:54 AM. One shot, one kill. Awesome. Okay, just got long 1350. Long 1350. Just checking my stops and targets. And what is it? Is just coming up to 9:57 AM. Had a nice one shot, one kill this morning on this down leg. And coming back in because we got another kind of setup happening here for a potential long trade. So this morning market opened up, bang, we'd had exhaustion sell before the open. That's not good enough to reverse market. We need to wait for exhaustion sell during the full liquidity of today, and there we go, that's where we got it. Bullish divergence comes in, and then we needed to run out. We had pullback to end of trend on the lowest time frame. That's an early signal, kind of just dark red there. Pullback to end of trend on the intermediate time frame, and then we started into this uptrend, really quite a strong rally. But we've got to play ourselves out. Resistance to support on the highest time frame. This one's kind of playing out here. We don't always kind of complete this as a nice either pullback to end of trend or resistance to support. That's good, I'm just looking at this. But we've started to break now into an uptrend. Jumped in a little bit before a low risk entry point. Kind of coming in here, but at some point that'll print, I think. And what's got me interested now is that this press down held at support on 15, blue professional bar comes in at the lows. This retrace, that element there, that was blue professional down bar, and then amateur down bars testing. So the amateur's kind of getting wrong footed there. Professionals picking it up on a retracement bar, and that's nice. Okay, pull back end of trend, that's just signal. There we go, low risk entry point on a potential change in trend. So we got pullback end of trends, low, intermediate, another one on the low time frame, and now that's a little cluster, kind of ready for a little bit of a jump, and kind of getting anywhere near this 17 level would be confirmation that we got ourselves a change in trend. Here we go. My target's sitting at 1750. Let's just see where that goes. Oh, we've come pretty close to stop, but still holding long. I'm in too early. Needed more time to run this out, resistance to support. But amateur down bars, which is kind of good. So all this activity is retracement. Got some Rambo patterns here. We've got cyclical support in shortly on 1500. I just push below this low. Sometimes that flushes out some people. And there we go, we're out at 1750. It's just a way. Someone came to the door, so this thing just took off to the upside. So that's good. Excellent. 2 trades, 2 winners, 1614. Good.